Paul, I'm going to ask you a question here about the Secretary of State in Florida and Ohio. Was it kind of was it one of the goals of the GOP to take over the elections through the Secretary of States in certain states?
Yeah, well, certainly the goal was to win state legislatures and constitutional and constitutional offices, governor, Secretary of State, Attorney General, if that's an elected position. All states are different, you know.
Right.
So in Ohio in 2000, it was Ken Blackwell who was a Bush chairman, or a Forbes chairman in 2000.
Yeah, and then he went to Bush.
And then Bush, I think, in 2004, right? He was at least the Ohio chairman, I would imagine. I think it's just common sense that even if it's a constitutional office, there probably should be, at least when you're talking about if it's a Secretary of State who has control of the election process, there probably should be some kind of amendment that says, and you can't be chairman of a particular campaign,
Right.
because it speaks to controversy.
And it did.
And certainly it did in Ohio. I mean, you know,
And Florida.
And Florida, yeah. I mean, my view on Ohio in 2004 was, simply there were not enough machines deployed. There were more machines deployed in other areas than there was not an equality of deployment to precincts, with, as I understand it, minority districts getting fewer machines. That's just my understanding. I don't know if that, you all would know more than
All right,
that.
go ahead, Paul.
Was it meaningful to you at all if you knew that since you went to prison, Jane Millerick has become a contributor to DCI PAC?
Yeah, sure. No, that doesn't surprise me. But I don't.
At 4.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Jane Millerick's a liar, and I'll just say it. And usually in my book I say, you never stoop to calling somebody a liar, but she is one. I know it is, because when this whole story broke, her story was, we never hired them, and we hired them to do something else, and it was just not true. None of it was true. What they should have done, what should have been done was, if they really, they should have just eaten the scandal on the front end, and it probably would have gone away. But they decided to cover it up and run from it, and that was the bad decision to make. Jane Millerick, I don't have a whole lot of respect for her. Her response to me would be, who cares what he thinks, he's a felon. But a more dishonest person in politics, she's certainly in the top 10. In my personal list of dishonest people.
Yeah,
because
I realize personal experience is very important here.
Yeah, well, just because I know for a fact, there are a lot of lies being told about me. That's why I said, I mean, don't believe everything you read in the paper. I mean, I know it's an old adage, but it's true. Anytime I read an article about this guy, the allegation is this guy did something, I'm the first to question whether, let's wait to see what really happened.
Your eyes have been opened.
Yeah, my eyes have been opened. Yeah, my eyes have been opened. But, you got to remember, I mean, where I came from, my experience was, and I say it in the book, I was part of the group, we don't break laws, we make laws. And if you make laws, as Nixon said, if the president does it, it can't be illegal. So you get this sense of being above the process and the system, which is false and gets disproven time to time.